Hello bass players, Stephen Cox here. Today I'm going to show you how to play a funky 12-bar blues. So what we're going to do first is start with a simple pattern, take it all the way around the 12-bar changes, and then after that we're going to add a backbeat to it, which is kind of like what the snare would do if there was a drummer with you. Okay, so the first part of this pattern is just going to be based around a G chord. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the 3rd fret on the E string, which is the G. Okay, and then the next note, after you play that one twice, you're going to play that one twice, the next note is going to be the 5th fret on the A string. Okay, so after you've got all that down, then the next note is going to be the 3rd fret on the D string. And then finally, the last note is going to be the 5th fret on the D string as well. So far we've got. And that's our basic pattern. So now the cool thing about the 12-bar blues is you take this basic pattern and you move it around some chord changes, basically. And there are only 2 other changes in the whole song. It's just where to do them. So basically what we're going to do to start with is notice that this pattern is kind of like a box shape. So like if you think about it, you're only using 3rd frets and 5th frets. So you're just using part of a box, kind of 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. We're only using 3 on the E, 5 on the A, 3 on the D, and 5 on the D as well. So what we want to do with that is get this pattern based, around each note the same when we move it around the chord changes. So your hand will be doing the same thing basically on different frets and different strings. So the first place we move it to is to the 3rd fret on the A string. So now the pattern that you'll do will consist of, it'll be the 3rd fret on the A, the 5th fret on the D, and then 3 and 5 on the G string. Okay, and so that's going to be based around a C chord. Then the last pattern we're going to use the same finger shape. We're going to move it up to the D chord. So the way we're going to do this is the 5th fret on the A string is a D. So we're going to do the same pattern with our index finger starting on the 5th fret on the A string. So that's 5th fret on the D, or on the A string. There you go. And then 7th fret on the D string. Then 5 and 7 on the G string. And so that's basically all you need to know to go around the whole changes. So now what we're going to do is figure out how many times to do each one of those patterns. So we're going to start on the G pattern, and we're going to do that 4 times. Now we're going to go to the C pattern and do it twice. Back to the G. Now we're going to move it up to the D, then to the C, then back to the G, and then back to the D. So that's basically. Alright, it's right about time to get a little funky. So what we're going to do is we're going to add what's known as a backbeat. And a backbeat is basically what the drum part would be on a groove like this. So we're just going to add the snare drum part. And basically what the snare drum would do on a song like this is it would hit on beats 2 and beats 4. So if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, it would hit on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going to use the basic idea of slapping the strings with your fingers right here. Just this whole part of your finger, and basically deadening the string with your other hand so that the strings don't ring out. And the way you do this is just lightly setting your hand across all the strings without pushing down on any frets. So basically we're just going to play the first 2 notes of the groove, the 3rd fret on the E string twice, and then we're going to slap on beats 2 and 4. So this is how we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and so on. So after you get it down with just the first two notes, with the slap on beats 2 and 4, try adding the rest of the notes. For time's sake, I'm not going to add them one at a time, but this might be a good idea. So here's the groove, just the initial groove, with that thrown in, and I'll do it relatively slowly so you can follow. Okay. And so forth. So now basically just practice going all the way through the 12-bar pattern and get funky.